Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Coach and Rob are still here, but Bear isn't yet. Buddy might show up kind of later. And now here's Coach Crandor.
Hey everyone. I may still be here, but my heart and soul have left my body and ascended to another plane.
Yeah, that's fair.
Hey, understandable, Coach.
Yeah, welcome to the podcast for week 15. Ooh. Yes, we're covering week 15. We only got 2 weeks left.
I know.
And then the playoffs hit. So anybody that's curious of like, what are you gonna do for the playoffs? Playoffs.
Playoffs? You talking about playoffs?
Playoffs.
We're gonna do the podcast.
We're gonna do the podcast for playoffs.
Yes. Yeah, we are going to do the podcast.
It probably won't last as long. Probably we'll say that and it'll go like 3 hours or something.
Right. Well, hang on here, Coach. Of course it's going to last even longer because the Browns are going to make it, Coach.
I know, dude. It's happening.
The Browns.
If they make the playoffs, I will lose my mind. It's so unlikely that it's likely.
Dude, I want it so bad. I want it so bad.
Everyone does. Everyone listening to this podcast does.
I know.
It's going to happen.
Amazing.
I'm calling
It's going to happen. So, yeah, we're covering the playoffs, and then we're going to do like an NFL draft in April. We'll do probably like pre-draft and be like, who do you want your team to take? Look at all these guys out there. Look at his 4.54 run out of the combine. And then do the actual draft and then do a post-draft and then not talk for like 5 months or whatever and then be like, hey, here we are again.
We might do like one... Maybe a special, like what we expect from the off-season sort of thing.
Like a summer special in June or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we can do a summer special or something.
Yeah, like after free agency is done.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Everything's in place.
Who knows? Maybe one of our teams will sign a blockbuster free agent.
Yeah. Like Des Bryant.
Yeah.
Like Le'Veon Bell. Come here, baby.
Oh, my. I forgot all about Le'Veon Bell, honestly.
Oh, Le'Veon, please come to New York.
So let's open it up by, let's see, who should we start with? Who wants to start? Jets played first on Saturday. Let's go with the Jets.
We did, yeah. We had a Saturday game.
Crandor doesn't want to rip the rip the hat off yet. He's still clutching to it.
Keep the Band-Aid on.
Yeah.
So the Jets looked like they almost won.
Yeah, I mean we were ahead most of the game, which again is typical Jets where lose obviously.
Well, they were trailing at halftime.
Well, yeah, but there was we were like it was a competitive team, a competitive game against the team that we had no right to be competitive against.
But,
right.
Yeah. So, but you said that they were ahead most of the game. They're actually trailing for 3 quarters now.
All right, look, Sinvicta, I'm trying to be positive. All right, I'm trying to be positive about the Jets. Look, I'm very negative about them every week, and I try to do.
It's best if your friend tells you than some random person's going, "Why is Rob so incorrect all the time?"
That's true.
Yeah, that's true. Point. Yeah. No, you're not wrong. Yeah, no, I mean, here's the thing. Honestly. This was about as perfect a game. Like I honestly kind of hope that the rest of our games this season are exactly like this game. Mm-hmm. I would like more points in general because I jerk off to it at night. But other than that, yeah. So but
good night, everybody.
But why I say that is it was a competitive game. Where Sam Darnold specifically looked fantastic, and we still lost, and we got a better draft pick for it. So, really, all of the positive things, because we're already mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. So, winning games is just sort of a moral victory right now, and those are nice. I mean, I like wins, of course, right? Like, I mean, if we get a win, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
If we don't, I'll still be pretty happy because it moves us up the draft board. And right now, in this particular game, like Sammy D looked great. I mean, look at those numbers: 24-38, 253, 2 touchdowns, no picks, 100.0 rating. He looked great. Robbie Anderson had a day. He had 7 receptions, 96 yards, and a touchdown. Like he was killing it. Chris Herndon had a couple good plays. You know, it was a pretty good game. Now, with that said, the loss again showed what our win the week before showed as well, which is that our number one issue, because I see it on the Jets subreddit all the time, and in fairness, these are also correct takes. Like,
right.
Like our number one issue is like, I'm just being a semantical dickhead. You'll see in a second.
Well, I mean, if the Jets subreddit said it's got to be true.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
No, but you'll see what I mean. So they'll say our number one need is edge rusher, O-line, blah 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 blah. Our number one need is a fucking coach, because holy hell, it was bad. I mean, and they all agree with me, so that's why I'm saying I was just being a semantical dickhead. But the thing is, like, this coaching staff is it might be the worst in football this year, and it's not even.
Is that including the Hugh Jackson reign of the Browns?
Or the first like 10 games of the Gruden era?
We'll see, because like Gruden at least went in and he made it very clear what they were kind of doing. You know what I mean?
Trading away their best players.
Right, yeah. Like Todd Bowles has to come on the podium every week and tell about how the players aren't fighting hard enough for him, and he can suck a big old fat dick. Because
and when we say come on the podium, we mean it, Bart. He's coming on that podium.
So, like, to put it into perspective too. So here's the thing. So Todd Bowles and Jeremy Bates, so they're fantastic. They there were two egregious officiating errors in our game.
All right.
They were both where they spot the football.
Right.
Both times. Okay. It was so obviously clear that the spot was wrong that everyone in the stadium was like, throw the fucking challenge flag. Everyone in the broadcast is saying, why are they not throwing the challenge flag? Everyone on Twitter, why are they not throwing the challenge flag? Post-game thread, pre-game thread, during the game. Nostradamus predicted it. What the fuck are they doing? Throw the fucking challenge flag. This is 2 times this happened, and they were important fucking challenges that we should have, gone for. Now, both times actually worked out fairly positively for us, because one of them was a really, really terrible spot where the dude clearly got a first down, and they just moved. They spotted him like 2 yards back, and we still converted the 4th down, which was lovely to see that we actually play on 4th down.
Dang.
Yeah, but then like, Bill O'Brien makes this horrendous decision, because everyone in the broadcaster booth, everybody in the stadium, again, like all those things, were like, this is an obviously bad spot. Everyone knows it's an obviously bad spot. And then the Jets run out to hurry up to get a quick play off for 4th and 1 to make a quick completion. And everyone at home is just like, what are you doing? Throw the challenge flag. Don't do this. And then what happens? Bill O'Brien calls a fucking timeout. And every New York Jets fan is like, oh my God, thank God. The other coach is stupider than our coach. It's perfect. The officials do not review the play. And then what happens after Bill O'Brien's timeout? Bill O'Brien just saved us. And we still run the 4th and 1 play. It's just... I mean, it blows my mind, man, how bad this coaching staff is. And again, like, we did end up converting that 4th and 1. So, like, it kind of softens the blow a bit. But holy shit, it is just, man.
Can I also add in that I don't think Bill O'Brien's a very good coach at all. Like, I think the Texans could have far better than Bill O'Brien.
Okay. So, I did read a stat earlier today about Bill O'Brien. Admittedly, I don't know that much about him, but this stat is pretty good in his column, I think.
Okay.
He's been the head coach of the Texans for like 5 years, right? Something like that now.
Yeah, he was after Capers, I think.
Yeah, he has. I think. Here has led the Texans to winning seasons in 4 of his first 5 years. Prior to his tenure, the Texans had only 3 winning seasons in the entire team's history. Now, granted, they're an expansion team; they're not that old, but at the same time, I mean, that's pretty big. Of NFL head coaches, only Mike Tomlin and John Harbaugh have more winning seasons in their first 5 years, which is just 5. So, I mean, I don't know. I think he is actually pretty good. I think he's not exciting, but it seems like they're getting it done every year. So, you know?
Yeah, I guess so. All right. Maybe
Yeah.
I'm wrong.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, then again, before him, they did have Dom Capers, which, oof.
Yeah.
I know all about Dom Capers.
What one last thing about how terrible our Jets coaching staff is? So we signed we signed a big cornerback in free agency. Like, our biggest signing in free agency last year was we got the top corner on the market, Trumaine Johnson, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who last year was like one of, if not the highest graded man corners in the league. So what did Todd Bowles, our defensive-minded head coach, do with Trumaine Johnson? He played him in fucking zone all year. He's in zone the entire fucking. He barely plays man. He's a man. Anyway, so we have the most expensive contract on the team, fucking Trumaine Johnson, our number 1 CB, who is supposed to be like our big man coverage guy, the guy that shuts down the other team. And the other team in this particular game is the Houston Texans. And the Houston Texans have one particular playmaker. I don't know. He seems pretty good. DeAndre fucking Hopkins.
He's all right.
Yeah,
And-
he's pretty good. Yeah.
He seems decent, right? So you would figure maybe, I don't know. I mean, I'm not an NFL head coach. I'm just some guy. But say I were a head coach, I'd probably say, I'm going to put my best corner on their best wide receiver. That seems sensible, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, not Todd Bowles, my friend, because Todd thinks that we should cover our the top wide receiver for the Texans, DeAndre Hopkins, who's leading the league in a number of receiving categories, with a backup safety. That's who we should cover DeAndre Hopkins with. And guess how he did? I mean, I'm sure that he is a defensive genius, Todd Bowles, so he obviously knows more than us, the fans at home.
Looking at DeAndre Hopkins stats, he was 10 receptions, 170 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Well done, Rob.
That's a lot of yards.
Yeah, and by the way, that's 10 receptions on 11 targets. So pretty much caught everything that
Who was
was
covering
thrown
him?
his
Who
direction.
was the safety?
It was our I think Roberts was on him temporarily, and then literally a no-name person.
A
was on
linebacker
him.
covering him.
Yeah, like
Wow.
that's how that's a great question, Grintor. I would love to know myself.
How and why, Rob?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I could not tell you. But hey, I'm not a defensive genius, Todd is, so he must know more than me. Something must have happened there, of course.
I don't know how he
So-
still has a job then at this point.
I wish we would break
For
that
the-
tradition.
For the record, Rob was alone in picking the Jets. And again,
Well,
shout out to
yeah.
Hippo Nora for keeping
Yes,
keeping us honest
indeed.
this entire season.
I'm tied with I think it's Invicta now.
Mm.
Like the
Overall,
exact
yeah,
same
Rob
record.
Rob is 0.07% ahead of us.
Well, I'm like 3 games ahead, right?
Yeah.
Of you guys, yeah.
Yeah, you're 3 wins ahead, yeah, because of our 3 ties, because we're both idiots.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the Jets, and honestly, I'm pretty excited to get an up close, personal view of them this week when we play them.
I hope Sam shows off again. I hope so.
I do too. I'm aboard the tank train.
Yeah, I don't mind win or lose, honestly, but I'd like to
This
see
is
that.
the time of the season where I feel like football fans, like a
right.
majority of football fans, have the same common feeling that the one baseball episode of South Park did, where where the boys are like, they're deliberately trying to lose so they can like not go make a championship run. It's summer vacation,
Yeah.
they want to stay home and play video games. So
Yeah.
they purposely start start trying to lose. But the problem with baseball is that they're like, well, don't swing on a strike. You got to swing on a ball. And then the other person on the team is like, well, how do you know when he's going to pitch a strike or a ball? And then they're like, I don't know, just guess. Like, okay, well, it's just back to baseball anyway. That's That's how bad football teams feel at this point, where it's like, well, do we want to win or no? It's like, well, no, let's try not to win so we get a higher draft pick. It's like, well, how do we know?
Right.
How do we try to stop? How do we try to stop the enemy team? How do we let them score? I don't know. Just guess when they're going to try to score and do the opposite thing. It's the same thing. It's the same mentality.
Yeah. So, yeah, I had high hopes. Last week I was like, this is it, win out. Vikings lose a couple, we're good. Well, first off, the Vikings didn't lose, so I was like, well, that's not good.
And how you feeling now, Coach?
Could you say that one again for me, please?
The Vikings, the Dolphins lost. Yes.
Yeah, it was a close game. They barely lost.
It was close
Coach.
for a while. I was like,
21-0.
I was like, 21-17. They're coming back, and then I was like, okay, no, it's gone. So yeah, we played the Bears in Chicago. I woke up, I was ready. I'm like, here we go. And then they showed off our starting defense, and it was like half rookies because Mike Daniels is out, Kenny Clark was out. Like, so many people are out, and I was like, oh no, this is bad. But they actually didn't do terrible. Like, they held their own for a while. So I mean, we made some plays. We got some tackles. Jair Alexander's still amazing. Blake Martinez, good linebacker. We were doing all right. Aaron Rodgers didn't do very well though. He got back sacked by Khalil Mack. That was not a fun play.
Mm-hmm.
Literally backed into him. Backed his own lineman into him. Bulaga was out as well. When I saw that, I was like, oh Jesus, here we go. This is bad. There was a play where nobody even blocked our guard, we have the worst guards. He just didn't pick up the guy, and Rodgers got destroyed on a third down. Here's a fun stat. Guess who gets sacked the most in the league on third downs for 3 years in a row?
Aaron Rodgers.
Right. Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. Wow.
Well done,
we
Coach.
need
Well
an
done.
offensive line. Bakhtiari's amazing. Our center's pretty good, Lindsley, but aside from that, Bulaga's good when he's healthy, but then the guards are terrible. I would spend every one of our draft picks on offensive linemen. I would go the Colts route.
No, this is us. This is our draft. We're taking all of the first round linemen.
You can't have them.
The league can back off.
Hey, I need linemen too.
No,
We all need
they're
linemen.
all for us. You can have our scrap. Can I ask a question? to you
Okay.
as- So that stat sounds to me like, I think the initial feeling would be like, wow, that line sounds bad.
Yeah.
But I also have seen Aaron Rodgers play quite a bit,
Yeah.
and he runs around a lot.
He does.
And a lot of the time, he tends to hold the ball, hold on to the ball a little
Yeah.
too long because he wants to make something happen. And you did specifically mention on third down. So
Yes.
my question to you is it more the line, or is it more Aaron Rodgers?
I think it's both. That's an easy answer to say, but it definitely is both because there's plays where the line breaks and you just see it and you're like, well, okay. And then there's plays where he does hold on to the ball too long. And part of that, I don't know if it's him trying to keep his interception numbers down or if it's him just trying to create that extra play, but he definitely will hold it where I'm just like, just throw it. Just throw the ball. And I don't know, there might be part of him that's holding it too because he knows every possession is do or die for us because we just can't move the ball. And I think it's a problem where it's our defense will play so well, then we go on offense, and then it's here we go, and 3 and out, we're done. So it's almost
funny.
what were you going to say?
No, I was going to say it's funny that you mentioned he may have been holding it back just to keep his streak alive without the interception. That's a very real point that I don't think I would have even thought about till now.
Yeah, because he had 1 interception this year. 1. That's kind of crazy. But at the same time, does it really matter if we're not winning? But I think that is part of it was we had so many drives where you just wanted the offense to put something together and go on a run and just drive down the field. But we would just go 3 and out. And I think him holding the ball was him trying to extend that. All right, maybe I can hold on to it and get something. But I think he just needs another lineman. He needs another guy that isn't Devontae Adams. And then we just need Aaron Jones to be healthy. And I think the offense will come alive. And then a coach that knows how to,
Yeah, I was
draw
going
up
to say
real
a big
plays.
one of that is there was also turmoil between McCarthy and Rodgers in the first place. So that also who knows what kind of mental games.
I think the problem too is that they're running this system from 2009, right? Like this is 10 years old. It's been figured out. It's been beaten to death, and we need something fresh. And I think he wants something fresh too. So I think that's going to happen next year. So I'm more excited for next year. So again, I'm all aboard the tank train. Let's start Deshaun Kaiser. Let's go. Roll it out. Give me some 2 losses, and let's go for a top 10 pick.
You're currently 11, so
yeah. Hey, and I mean, we play the Jets this week, but
and now we have the matchup of the century: Jets versus Packers coach.
Yeah. In week 2, we thought this would be a possible playoff battle, and here we are trying for a top 5 pick together.
Yeah.
Woo!
Looking forward to the pickups here, coach.
I think I could say with a fair amount of certainty that we are both hoping for a high-scoring shootout where our QBs look good and our own teams lose.
Yes.
Right?
You know what?
Okay.
I thought you were going to say tie there.
Yeah, oh man,
take
that'd be great.
That'd be great.
Amazing.
I would take it.
Yeah.
And I mean, 2 ties on the year? Hell yeah. But I mean,
Has that ever happened?
Yes.
More than one tie? Yeah.
I believe
Really?
there's quite a few.
I think so.
I think the Steelers tied twice. It was somebody like that. One of the AFC North teams, I'm pretty sure. They love tying.
We're ties this year too.
The Bears actually look good, but here's the problem with the Bears. The Bears defense is like the best defense in the league, like number 1, hands down.
Yes.
The problem is their
Ravens.
offense. Their offense is not the great. It relies on Trubisky being accurate, which is like sometimes he's accurate, other times he gets a little, wishy-washy out there.
Yeah.
Jordan Howard had like 60 yards and a touchdown. Tariq Cohen is pretty much their offense. Him and Allen Robinson. Allen Robinson's like so good. Like if you watch Allen Robinson, you'll see why the Jaguars offense was better last year compared to not having him this year. Like he makes some crazy catches. And I mean, that's the thing is like, I don't know if their offense is going to keep them in the playoffs. Now that could be me out of like spite, whatever the word is, just being like
spite.
stupid Bears.
Out of smite, yeah.
But that's like, to me, that's their weakness. They have good special teams. They got good defense, but it's the offense. And that's kind of always been the Bears thing, is their offense is always just okay. And that's how it was when they were in the Super Bowl. It's how it was when we played them 10 years ago. It's how it was, like, it's always the offense that's the issue. So I'm curious to see how they do, because their defense is definitely the best defense.
They need to pick up some pieces in the offseason a little bit, I think, because like they've got some guys that are like Tariq Cohen seems very good.
Yeah.
Jordan Howard actually seems good too. He just needs more help probably. But I think they need like a true number 1 guy so that you can like, spread the ball around to like guys like Trey Burton and Taylor Gabriel and Allen Robinson and because
They could have really used a Josh Gordon.
yeah.
Yeah, that would have been useful.
But yeah, like I'm not sold on Allen Robinson as a true number 1. But
yeah,
I could be totally wrong, so who never knows.
I don't know, if you actually watch, like he's pretty good. Like honestly, he makes some crazy catches.
Yeah, he seems like quite good, but I don't know.
So yeah, that's the Bear. I mean, here, looking at his PFF rankings real quick here. Let me just show you the Allen Robinson numbers.
He's got a stat for you.
73.4, which is like, that's probably like number 2 wide receiver. Like in comparison to Adams, Devontae Adams is an 89. Mike Evans is an 82.
That's the
Godwin's
thing.
a 78.
I think Allen Robinson's a wide receiver too, and if they get a wide receiver 1, then he's gonna shine like even brighter. So plus he's still pretty young. I mean, he's only 25.
Yeah, that is very true. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, the Bears defense, you look at the numbers, like saying all these numbers, like anything above like an 85 is like getting pretty good. And the Bears have McManus 89, Fuller 87, Mack 90, Hicks 91, Eddie Jackson 93. Like
only PFF graded safety higher than Jamal Adams.
Yeah. So I mean,
the Bears defense is extremely good. And for the record, Rob and Sinvicta picked the Bears. Krendor, coach,
Yeah. Here's the thing, though. We actually could have won if Aaron Rodgers actually had some bad throws. Like, we were tied. We came back. We tied the game going in, like, the fourth quarter. And Aaron missed a guy. He missed St. Brown deep. Like, on a pass he should have had. Like, Brown had him beat, and he just missed it.
At the end there.
Yeah. And it was like, that would have put us up 21-14. You know, we would have had him on the ropes. I think we could have won, but like,
I thought the Packers were going to win when they tied it back up heading into the fourth. I thought that was like it felt like the momentum was shifting.
Yeah. So,
but that defense is just to be fair to the Green Bay offense as well. They were going up against what is arguably still the best defense, even though I know Rob said that the Ravens are pretty good.
The Ravens are very good.
Yeah.
That Bears defense, though, man. You're talking about, one dozen, half dozen, the other sort of thing.
They're both fantastic. I think when you're talking about like even all the way up to I think like 5 really of like defenses, I think they're usually like pretty close to one another. And the only statistical variance is going to be what their strength of schedule is, what kind of teams they were playing against. I think all those teams in the top 5 are very good. Well, honestly.
Speaking of Ravens, they played the Buccaneers. How'd that go?
Yes, they did, Coach. Tampa Bay doing what they do best, which is lose.
Woo!
dropping 20-12, Coach. That's right.
Yeah.
12, Coach. It's it was great. Jameis Winston putting out them eating the W Uber figures there, going for 25 with 157 yards, and here's a shocker: 1 interception, Coach. That's right.
No touchdowns.
0 touchdowns, although Mike Evans still shows that he deserves to be on a team way better than Tampa.
Peyton Barber did pretty all right. 85 yards, touchdown.
Yeah, he did not too bad, considering he carried like almost more times than we did have passing plays.
and Levante David, 10 tackles, 2 sacks. Look at that.
Yep. That was the highlights, Coach. And Yeah. Let me read you off a statistic here if I can put on my Rob hat for a second here.
Do read.
I'm going to read the first quarter drive summaries, Coach. Here we go. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
Punt. 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 Punt.
Could there be another punt?
Punt.
There is.
Fumble.
Oh,
there you go.
And then a touchdown, Coach. And
okay.
Yeah, that was basically the entire game. And Tampa had a chance to do something at the end of the game. Believe it or not, Tampa had a chance, Coach. We had the ability to tie, and it was a turnover on downs.
Yeah.
This team is without a doubt the most hopeless Tampa team that I've seen in a while, since the Raheem Morris days, which is saying a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But this coaching staff's got to go. They're terrible. They're absolutely terrible. And
there's some bad coaching staffs out there, I've come to realize.
Yeah,
but
it's easy to
is good.
Yes, yeah, he's quite good. And that's who they really want him. To take place of Dirk Cotter. Everyone wants the current offensive coordinator, and I forget his name off the top of my head.
Todd Monken.
Yeah,
I only know because I want him to be coach of the Jets.
Yeah, well, they're talking about having him being the next choice, but the thing is that everyone was saying the same thing about Dirk Cotter.
Yeah.
It was kind of like get him who was the last. I don't even remember the name of the last coach for the Bucs, because I just freaking hated him. But I hate.
I remember him.
I don't like anti-player coaches, because I've played for an anti-player coach, for a position coach, and I hated them. They treat you like it's military, and this is back where we're talking about high school. So these are grown ass men that you're talking to. You can't that aren't in the military.
They also treat you, when you get to this level of professional play, they're treating you like a high school kid. It's almost an insult.
Yeah, I mean that's just you can't do that. These are men with families. It's at a lot of the time, So before Dirk Cotter, it was Lovey. I'm not talking about Lovey. I'm talking about Greg Schiano.
Yeah, Schiano. That's it.
Lovey, I didn't like Lovey when he coached the Bucs. I liked him when he was with the Bears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
He was
I was
good with
actually happy that they went from someone who was a complete and utter like douchebag, like Shiano was, because I hated Raheem Morris. I thought Raheem Morris was awful, and he had the undesirable job of coming in after Gruden. But Raheem Morris was a player's coach, and they wanted to change the culture because they brought in Raheem Morris because he harkened back to the Dungy days. So Tampa has this thing where they go from a player's coach to a non-player coach to a player's coach to a non-player coach. They went from Dungy, who was arguably one of the most well-known player coaches in the world, to Gruden, who was most arguably the world's most anti-player coach, to Raheem Morris, to Greg Schiano. Screw that guy, by the way. And then to Lovie Smith, who was obviously a huge players coach, and it just didn't work out. The thing is with Lovie is that I think that looking back on it, I think the Glazers got rid of him way faster than he probably deserved.
Yeah,
I think
Lovie did he have for you guys?
One. He was just this is
Just
one.
one? Oh
Yeah.
man.
He was there
Yeah.
for the 2014, 2015 season. He was gone after that.
I wasn't a Bears fan during those days, right? But I mean, I remember when they fired him, and it was after what, like a 10 and 6 year, right? And
yeah, I think so.
like they barely missed the playoffs at 10 and 6, and they fired him.
I was surprised when they fired him. I really was.
Yeah, I mean, like that
10 and 6.
Yeah, that was a very strange firing to me as someone from the outside looking in. Obviously, I'm not a Bears fan. I didn't see the inner workings or anything, but I was like, wow, that seems silly. But I mean, I don't know.
Well, it was 2 straight years of not making the playoffs, so I think it was just another one of those things where they wanted to shake
like
it
an
up
Andy
a
Reid
bit.
type of
Yeah, because he'd been the coach since 2004, so it was like 8 years of him.
But that seems strange to give that coach 1 year and then fire him. Like that seems like a dysfunctional organization, to be honest.
Everyone hated Schiano. Everyone who played underneath Schiano absolutely hated him. I know that for a fact. Not that I know these players personally, but
he coached 2 years in Tampa Bay.
2 years.
It was 2014, 2015.
Yeah, he went 2-14 his first year, and then 6-10 his next year. So I mean, it's getting better.
Did he? I thought he got fired in halfway through his second season.
No,
did he?
Said 6-10.
Okay, I was mistaken on that.
Yeah.
But
I still liked
slightly relevant story where I was listening to Chicago radio and they had Lance Briggs on, and he is like, "Yeah, Lovey called me from Tampa Bay, and he is like, hey, you want to come be my linebackers coach?" And I was like, "Yeah, like I'll do that." And he's like, the next day I put on ESPN and they're like, "Lovey Smith fired," and he's like, "Well, there goes that job."
Okay, that's pretty.
I feel like Lovey didn't get a fair shake. Why?
It doesn't sound like it. Yeah.
Why Dirk Cutter has a I don't know.
Like, what does he get? He get if you give a coach 2 years, what does he get? He gets one draft, like, and that's all. It's like,
arguably, and I don't even think Lovie Smith was in control of that. I'm pretty sure it was the GM.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, like
Gruden, and out of all the drafts, Gruden had the most control out of any head coach that I in recent memory for Tampa. The second in line was Raheem Morris. If we're not talking about Dungy, Raheem Morris had almost as much control over the drafts as Gruden did. Almost. Not total control, but almost as much. I don't know who is in charge of drafting now, but they need to be fired because they passed up on Derwin James. I know that that we make fun of it, but this is the God's honest truth. You can, and Crendor will back me up. I was calling for Derwin James as number 1 pick before the draft started for Tampa.
Yeah,
if we don't take Derwin James, I don't know what they're thinking of. And then we got freaking Vita, who did absolutely nothing this season. He was injured for a little while, and I'm like, and Derwin James is on he's on like rookie defensive player of the year type. Like it's unbelievable. But overall, coach, the Bucks suck. Go Browns.
Yep.
We were, by the way, all 3 of us picked the Ravens, by the way.
That we did.
And
the Ravens,
a
lot of, let's say they had Gus Edwards, 104 yards and a touchdown. Lamar Jackson, 95 yards rushing and 131 throwing with a touchdown.
He's scary, man. He is an absolute blast to watch.
Yeah.
Look at this, okay? This is his stats for the year. Now his passing stats are not like they don't go crazy for you. It's 58% completion percentage. It's honestly kind of it's a pretty low average now in the modern NFL. But again, he's a rookie. He actually is. He's probably pretty high up there on the rookie QBs.
It's not that impressive, no matter how way.
Either way, but either way, he's got 818 yards, 5 touchdowns, 3 picks. You know, it's an 82 overall rating. So it looks like Eli. It looks like Eli.
I believe we call that middling.
Right. Yeah. But then you look at his rushing stats. On top of the 818 yards through the air, he's got 566 on the ground. That's a 5-yard per carry average with 3 touchdowns.
He is
That's
scary.
Crazy. Like this kid's gonna kill people when he gets the rest of that stuff. That's why I'm actually like. I'm on the fence about the whole John Harbaugh thing because I know that he's on the hot seat right now and they want to fire him, and then Jets fans are like, "Well, bring him here. That sounds great." And I don't know, maybe cool. That would be good. He's a great coach, it seems like, but like I don't think they should get rid of this guy. John Harbaugh is clearly putting Lamar Jackson in the best possible situation to win. Like they basically changed their entire fucking game plan for him. Not game plan, but like their play calling is completely different when he's in the game.
To be fair, they had to because of Flacco's injury. I mean, but getting him in the drafting him is Harbaugh's that's going to be his legacy when it comes down to it.
Yeah.
But I've always think he'd be this good.
No, I didn't either. I think Rob is the only person who saw it. Yeah. But the thing is with any of the Harbaughs, but I've never been a huge fan of their coaching, but I've always thought that he was a great drafter.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not a Ravens fan at all, but I think that with how his fate is directly tied to how well and how far they go this season with Lamar Jackson. And
the Ravens, going into the Lamar Jackson's first game, they were 4-5. And they weren't looking that great. And now they've won 4 of their last 5, and their only loss was to Kansas City in a close game they could have won.
Yeah. No one knows how to handle Lamar Jackson anymore. Because I say anymore. I mean, nobody knows how to handle him at all. Because the thing is, if you let him run, he's going to destroy you. If you don't let him run and you force him to pass, they'll run with some fucking other guy. It doesn't matter. They've been running with they've almost been doing running back by committee in some of their games in their box scores. I mean, granted, Gus Edwards has been doing stuff, but at the same time, they'll run it down your fucking throat. And then if you don't, 60% of the time, Lamar Jackson's also going to beat you through the air. So again, if this dude, if they coach him up and they get him to read defenses and fucking hit targets accurately, consistently, he'll be virtually unstoppable, man. It's how do you play defense against him? It's that was the threat of Michael Vick, and that's the threat of Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, it's almost cliche at this point, but when we were talking, the only reason why I mentioned Vick again is because of how we were sort of comparing Mahomes, his running style, but even a closer comparison after watching Lamar Jackson play, he is the closest thing to Mike Vick that I think I've seen since Vick. Since Vick.
Yeah.
I mean, the only 2 guys that have even approached in the same category is probably Cap and RG3's rookie year. But honestly, I think Lamar has a much higher ceiling than either of those guys, and arguably has a higher ceiling than Vic himself. So I'm very excited to see what Lamar Jackson can do.
Vic came in at a time where there was really no true expectations of the Falcons, and he turned that entire culture around down there. And the difference here with Lamar Jackson is that the Ravens have always had a playoff culture, because that's they're just born and bred out of the Ray Lewis days. So they come to he's entering into a completely different aura almost than what Vic was, because he's got the weapons and the organization and the history to back him to turn him into something that could indeed be greater than what Vic has done. I mean, we're talking this, he's he's like a sophomore or junior year here. This is his rookie year. The guy's going to be absolutely incredible.
Yeah. So speaking of amazing rookies, the Cleveland Browns.
The
Go
Browns,
Browns! Go
baby.
Browns!
Let's
Beat
go.
the Denver Broncos.
My
Okay.
lock of the week, coach. My
Amazing
lock.
game.
Can I just say before we get into this,
Yeah.
you know, we've all been shitting on our coaching staff for the past like 10 weeks now.
Yeah.
The Broncos, I feel like, probably have a right to say that Vance Joseph is indeed the worst coach in the NFL.
Oh yeah,
Like,
he should be gone.
right. He needs to be gone immediately. He did the thing. He did the thing. The meme.
Yep.
He did the meme. He literally kicked a field goal when it didn't give them the fucking lead in the fourth. What are you doing, Vance? Vance, you need 4 points to tie, Vance. A field goal gives you 3. Come on, man. What are you doing?
Coach, would it surprise you to hear that I was laughing very hard during that time?
It would not. It would not surprise me at all.
Play the Bill O'Brien gif of him saying, "Good job, Vance, you stupid." Like, just,
He did it
what
again.
Are you doing? It's just crazy to me.
We live in such a high-powered offensive league of like high risk, high reward. And there's just so many. If you notice, a lot of the bad coaches right now are the conservative coaches because they're doing dumb things like this. And then the good teams, like I've seen the Bears come out on 4th and 1 and stuff and be like, run it down their throat. Or like Bill Belichick's been doing it for years. He's always like 4th down, go for it. Well, and every time the opponent's like, oh God, not the, because it's like they're gonna get it.
I know it's a dirty word to some fans, but statistically, the math just works out that you should be going for these.
Yeah.
You just should. There's no reason not to. Like, okay, so let's talk about this temporarily. Like, he kicks a field goal, 4th and 5, and really all they need is a first down. They can still get a first down before the touchdown, I believe, in that specific scenario. Like, or it's not even 4th and 5. It was like 4th and 3 or something.
Yeah.
And it was I'm an idiot. Sorry. It was 4th and short on the 5-yard line. That's what it was. They needed to get to the 5. So what happens if you fail that 4th down? They get put. The enemy team gets put at the 5-yard line. It's incredibly hard to score from the 5-yard line. Doesn't matter who's at the helm. Aaron Rodgers,
and then you're
Tom
gonna
Brady,
get another.
Drew Brees.
Then they're probably gonna punt, and then you get another like midfield chance to go down the field. And
Exactly.
Yep.
It's just that's just common sense. But like, and then also the statistics like weigh out that like even if you fail, it doesn't really matter because you get better field position and you have more of a chance to win. You actually lowered his chance to win by kicking that field goal.
It reminded me of when McCarthy punted it against Seattle on like 4th and 3. We're just like, what? It's like it's just another dumb conservative thing. It's like, check the stats and the numbers and all, and it's like, I don't think you did. I think your math is wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, Rob, what if you kick a field goal?
No, here's the other thing. Let me throw a little opposite end coaching in there where the Browns, what's his name? Greg
Williams.
head coach Greg Williams called a timeout when they jumped off sides.
Yep.
That was God. I was like, there's no reason to even call a timeout.
That almost lost them the game. Yeah. That really almost lost them the game. So
yeah.
But it didn't because all of us picked the Browns.
The football gods are now smiling on the Browns. I don't know what happened. Maybe Paul Brown in football, Valhalla was like, you know what? It's time. They've had enough. Like I don't know what happened, but like the football gods are smiling on him now, and
it's beautiful, Rob. It's beautiful.
I've been singing his praises, and I feel like I'm completely fair in singing his praises. Baker Mayfield has turned that team completely. I am confident in saying that it is Baker's fucking fire and energy that is making this team believe, and it's so beautiful to watch.
He's turned into what they wanted Manziel to be.
Yeah.
But Manziel was always stupid. The comparisons between Baker and Manziel, I thought were like they were.
I'm not comparing him at all. I'm just saying that's what they wanted.
No, I know,
him to
but like pre-draft when people were like, well, yeah, but he got caught drinking one time in college. Oh no! Oh my God!
You can't
Are
drink
you
in
telling
college.
me? Are you telling me a kid is gonna drink in college? And the comparisons to Manziel were always superfluous and silly.
Looking at the numbers for the Browns in the rankings, like how Allen Robinson was 73, it's like, hey, anything above like an 80s, like getting really good. Mayfield's 81.4, Chubb is 84.3, Myles Garrett 84.7, Jabril Peppers 83.2.
Yeah,
So they've
Jabril
got
Peppers
some-
is killing. Yeah.
Yeah, they've got some solid players. Their offensive line's all around 70, which is like, good enough to get the job done. And then really, I think all the Browns need another corner. Well, actually, they have Ward, but he's injured. But they need a wide receiver, like a number one wide receiver, really bad.
And remember, early in the year, Denzel Ward was fucking killing it too.
Yeah.
So like when he comes back, like, dude, this team is going to be so talented, and they have money and picks, and they're just gonna, if they get the right coach, they're gonna fucking destroy the NFL next year, and it's gonna be really so beautiful.
Their only weaknesses right now, looking at it, is like defensive line and like a wide receiver and like maybe tackle. Like there's not many maybe outside linebacker too, but it's nothing that can't be fixed in like 1 year. Honestly,
they've got
You
so
can
much
coach that out, coach.
yeah, you can coach that out.
Yeah.
And then Baker's gonna be better next year, probably.
Yeah.
In addition to this, like,
Nick
Nick Chubb might be better. I mean, look at it. He had 20 carries, 100 yards. That's 5 yards per carry.
It's
Baby.
gonna be a battle of the AFC North. Honestly, like everybody but the Bengals is probably gonna be battling for that division.
Well, they might get Hugh Jackson as their head coach next year.
Yeah.
Oh,
We've already. Hey, you guys tired of Marvin Lewis? Yeah. You want Hugh Jackson?
We've already established on this show that Marvin Lewis is just he's immortal. He will never not.
I would
be
take Marvin
that.
Lewis over Hugh Jackson. You kidding me?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah,
I think
There's
anyone
no
would have
question. Yeah.
Yeah. He at least can get to the playoffs.
Now, Coach
before he
Crandor,
loses.
I heard that there's a very specific 7 things that have to happen for the Browns to make the playoffs, Coach.
So there's 5 things actually. Let's read them out. First, the Browns have to win their games. They have to win the rest of their games.
Go Browns. That's given. Like they're gonna win.
They're gonna do it. Yeah, obviously.
Next, they need the Ravens to lose to the Chargers. That could
Totally
be a little
doable.
tricky,
Highly possible.
but it is
Totally
possible. Next, they need the Dolphins to lose one more game.
I highly think that's also very possible.
Yep.
Yep.
Then they need the Colts and Titans to lose this week.
That's gonna be rough.
That's going to be the rough one. The Colts play the Giants and in Indianapolis, and then the Titans play the Redskins in Tennessee.
Yeah, that's a rough one.
That's not the hardest one, though.
The final one.
The final one is the Colts-Titans play each other week 17, and they need that game to tie.
Easiest thing ever, Coach. It's gonna happen.
It's got to happen. It's got to have that Browns luck.
Go Browns. They're gonna do it, Coach.
But here's the fun part. That game is apparently on a Saturday night, so we'll know going into that Sunday if the Browns can get there.
Dude, if they look, hey, I know that it's like there's probably like a less than 1% chance. That all those
It's
things happen.
100%, Rob.
But imagine,
Dragons.
Imagine, dude. Like there was, I think I told the stat the other day when it happened, but like, but
Rob.
The new, but the new stat is that now the Browns have officially won more games without Hugh Jackson than they have the entire time he was coaching there.
Yeah,
the entire fucking time. And
it is true.
And by the way, they are 6-7-1 this year. That's how low the fucking bar is. It also, as another aside, blows my mind that the fucking talking heads in sports media were like, what Baker did to Hugh Jackson is just atrocious. What the fuck are you talking about? This motherfucker gave me 1-15, 0-6. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Hugh Jackson? Come on.
It's the Hugh Jackson that successfully won a whole 2 games for him.
And then was forced to put Baker Mayfield in, and it just happened to, work out incredibly. And he's like, oh, maybe I should have put him.
Now, I do want to say
Hugh Jackson that in every press conference shits on his players relentlessly.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah. Can we hold on real quick? Hugh Jackson leaves, and he's like, yeah, they all sucked. Honestly, I wanted to draft Carson Wentz, whatever. Mike McCarthy left, and he like went back to the team and gave like a motivational speech and wrote an article being like, thank you for everything. Like the difference of just personality.
It blows me away.
Hugh confirmed everything that Baker said, pretty much.
Absolutely, yeah.
Now I want to state, just because we are self-aware here, we're not trying to make an illusion. I'll let the guy speak for himself, but overall, we're not under any illusion. We are all bandwagon fans for the Browns.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Okay, yeah. All of this sort of stemmed as a joke at the start of the season.
Not for me, baby.
But legitimately, we are bandwagon fans. But like I'm telling you, I'm on this wagon to stay, because the Browns are going to be incredible next year. They're going to be so much fun to watch.
And honestly, I'm ready for many Packers-Browns Super Bowls in the future. Many.
I said it pre-draft, and I actually want to mention it because I mentioned it in the text chat that we have. Do you guys remember? I don't know if there's a saved VOD or anything. The last time we did our NFL draft coverage or our fantasy football coverage, but I remember quite vividly, actually, you two shitting on me relentlessly for picking Browns players and saying that the Browns were going to be good this year.
What are you talking about?
I don't remember any of that.
This is not. I got to hear the VOD more for this to be real.
I mean, here's the thing. I predicted the Browns would get like 4 to 6 wins. So I mean,
Crandor did say 6 wins this season, and we all laughed at him.
I said 4 to 6 wins.
I said the Browns, and I'm still sticking to this. And it honestly, it looks like my prophecy might actually fucking come true. The Browns are a minimum 7-win team this year, dude. If they didn't have Hugh Jackson at the beginning of the year, think about this. They would probably be going to the playoffs right now. Like straight up, like they would have almost certainly clinched it already. Actually,
the only reason why I even brought that up is because I did see someone say, as a lifetime Browns fans, we thank you for all the excitement and stuff. I just want to be clear that we're not trying to overshadow we've always been a Browns fan.
No,
we are bandwagon fans, but I think we all are legitimate Browns fans. They are my number 2 team. I sincerely mean that. They are my number 2 team, and like I'm going to be watching more Browns games next year than the Bucs.
They're my number 3 team, and you're going to be surprised at who my number 2 team is.
I think I know. Yeah.
Who is it?
The Bears.
No. You kidding me?
It's not.
Okay.
Why would my number 2 favorite team be?
Well, you said it would surprise me. Yeah, that would be very surprising.
It'll surprise you.
No,
the Buffalo Bills.
Well, I was
okay.
You didn't let me answer, Coach, but
and part of that is growing up, like years ago, like back when I played Vanilla WoW, I used to know people in Buffalo, and they would always cheer for like the Buffalo teams, like the Sabres and the Bills, and I always felt really bad for them because they were always bad. And then I have like this weird relation to them in being a Cubs fan, where it's just the perpetual sadness of like constant Super Bowl losses and bad luck and just fans wanting them to win, always showing up and just losing. I'm like, you know what? I can relate. And so I just relate to them on that level. So I'm like, come on, Bills. You can do it. So yeah, they're my number 2.
I was a Josh Allen hater, and I'll tell you what, he's proven me wrong, I think.
Yeah.
And Rob, he hurdled a man.
Lions.
Yeah.
They beat the Detroit Lions.
They did. Yeah.
14-13. And let's see, Matt Stafford, not too bad, 22-29, 208 yards, 1 TD.
Yeah.
Josh Allen, 13-26, 204 yards, 1 TD. Pretty much same numbers as Matt Stafford.
Well, completion center, the completion percentage.
The completion center was a little off.
That damn completion center, man.
But yeah. The big thing, just what are the Lions right now?
I don't know,
bad,
man.
I was telling you guys the stats. The Detroit Lions have not won the NFC North since it was the NFC Central. And the Buccaneers won the division before the Lions actually did. So the Buccaneers won our division before the Lions last did.
That's hilarious.
That's very sad.
That's very Buckish too, Coach.
It is.
I actually don't know. The Lions make no sense to me because I legitimately thought coming into this season that they were actually primed to be in a position to be good.
Yeah.
But
that's what the
hell,
Lions
man?
do. That's what they've always done. The only time they haven't done that is like Barry Sanders. And even then, they still couldn't like get it done. Like the last time they were good was when they had Ndamukong Suh and they made the playoffs. But like even even that, I hated them because, they were a dirty team. But they still lost, like, what was it, first round of the playoffs? Like, they lost the wild card game.
Yeah.
That's just the Lions. They're just another team I'd feel really bad for if they weren't in the division. So yeah, but
it's the
Bills.
Lions though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're the only other team to go 0-16 in the history of the NFL. The only
It's very
other one.
true.
Yeah.
Maybe if we draft another wide receiver. Let's see. So then we had.
Looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, hold on. I want to check their player rankings because I'm like so curious because we lost to the Lions this year. Granted, Mason Crosby missed like 5 field goals.
Yeah,
but
that was the week I started him too, Coach, and God bless him for that.
Let's see. Lions. Their offensive line is pretty bad. Stafford's a 76, which is like worse. He's actually worse than Baker Mayfield. LeGarrette Blount is awful. Oh my God. Galladay's 82.6. Galladay's good. Big Play Slay is 72. He's okay. Their defensive line, they got Snacks Harrison and Elshon Robinson, I think. They're both like very good. And aside from that, they are terrible. So they need a lot from what I'm seeing here.
I wonder what Lions fans. Let us know in the comments, actually.
Yeah,
because I'm curious.
There's always some.
What do you guys feel about Matt Patricia? Because I really legitimately expected him to be better, but again, it's sort of the curse of Bill Belichick's assistants. I feel like every time they move to, except for Bill O'Brien. Outside of Bill O'Brien, literally every single other one has had horrible failure in them moving somewhere else.
Yeah, that is kind of weird.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of starting to shy away from the whole McDaniels coaching. I don't know if I want that.
I definitely don't.
Falcons crushed the Cardinals 40-14.
Yeah.
I think pretty much securing the Cardinals as the worst team in the league. Maybe the Raiders. It's still a battle.
I'll let you know in the next segment, Coach.
All right, great. Then, I mean, I would go into the stats of this game, but Falcons just scored a lot of points. Matt Ryan,
The Falcons are still extremely talented. They're confusing as to why their record is the way it is.
I think it's just injuries, honestly. I think they've had a lot of
injuries.
injuries.
Yeah, that might be true. I don't know.
Bengals beat the Raiders.
Yeah.
That was Jeff
I don't know.
Driscoll.
I don't know what you two were smoking that day for picking the Raiders over the Bengals, but
It's Driscoll. It's Jeff Driscoll.
Jeff Driscoll. Raiders just upset the Steelers. I was ready for him to come on out, have some, have some fun. Have a Joe Mixon, 129 yards, 2 TDs.
Yeah.
Mamma mia. I would like him if he didn't, punch random people in public.
Yeah. We gotta learn more about what the hell happened with it, because I actually don't even know that story, but I've only heard people.
All I know is I saw the video of it.
There's a video. Oh God.
There's a video. That's why he dropped in the draft that year, actually.
Yeah.
He probably would have been like a top 5 pick, but classic.
What a stupid idiot.
It's just one of those things the person, it's listen, you don't punch people in public. I don't know,
it's just come on.
Seems
man.
like
the NFL, everyone, the NFL.
The NFL.
Then we had the Titans shut out the Giants 17-0.
Yeah.
Wow. I did not expect that to happen. The Titans just continue to be that team that either looks like they're going to win the Super Bowl or loses to the Raiders.
And I said it last week during Pick'ems. You just don't know which Titans team is going to show up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They look like playoff contenders one week, and then the next week they look like they should be at the bottom of the power rankings. Coach.
I think what it seems to me is that they, and again, I don't actually know why the fuck this LaFleur guy is getting mentions as a head coaching candidate.
Yeah.
But because he's their OC.
Mm-hmm.
It looks to me like their defense is pretty good. I mean, it's a top 10 defense, but their
I'd say
offense
top 5
is
defense, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, but their offense is inconsistent, wildly inconsistent.
Well, that's what's happened lately. Is they're dude, Derrick Henry's going crazy.
Right. Yeah,
he's got. He had that crazy game 2 weeks ago. This game, he had 170 yards and 2 touchdowns, which is insane. Again, they gave him the ball 33 times.
Yeah, Marcus Mariota has 88 yards for the entire game. That's
that's
insane.
it's hitting that point where I think that's going to be their formula. It's going to be like, play defense, run with Derrick Henry. Let's go to the playoffs. Like that seems like what they're going to do. And I mean, it could work, honestly. They beat the Patriots with it.
Yeah.
We'll see.
It used to work. Who knows?
They shut down Saquon Barkley, 31 yards on 14 carries.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Any of us thought that they were going to get shut out.
Yeah.
I mean, we all thought that they would win. So
yeah. Dolphins lost to the Vikings in Dolphins fashion, if anything.
That they did.
11 completions for Ryan Tannehill, 108 yards, and that was it. Kalen Ballage with 123 yards and a touchdown for the Dolphins. Ballage. Kirk Cousins. Here's the thing. Kirk Cousins, 14 of 21, 215 yards, 2 TDs, and a pick.
Yep.
It's still not like crazy numbers.
Oh, you guys. Yeah, last week, fucking Russell Wilson in a loss had 72 yards and a pick. And you guys are like, well, we won the game. But Kirk Cousins, 2 touchdowns, a 10.2 average yards per play.
The thing is, it just feels like Kirk Cousins again. I don't know what it is, but it's the personality behind it.
There's no winning with Kirk, man.
It's Kirk Cousins.
I actually don't that's one thing that I'm actually curious about. That's kind of why I defend Kirk Cousins, both on Reddit in long paragraph essay format, but also like here is the thing that is so mysterious to me about it is I don't know why people hate him.
You like that? That's the big thing.
I guess, but that's the thing is like he's just a goofy, like, just like a straight edge goofy weirdo who he's not hateable. That's the thing. I don't get it. He doesn't.
I don't hate him. I just don't think he's as good as you're trying to make him seem.
I think he's hateable.
All right. Well, coach. Coach is a coach. So.
Here you go. First off, Dolphins got sacked 9 times. That's a lot of sacks.
Oh yeah,
that's a lot of sacks.
That's
thing about Kirk Cousins is he's always got this like I'm getting bullied mentality about him, even though he's not. Like with the Redskins, he's like, you like that, and he did all that stuff, and he's always like, I think he's above average, but I don't think he's like a top tier quarterback. That's the thing. Like I think he's better than most quarterbacks. He has that Jay Cutler syndrome to him. That's who he reminds me of a Jay Cutler. Not like the actual persona of Jay Cutler, where he would just sit there like, bleh. But he's got that similar kind of. I don't know what it is.
How's he like?
Okay. Like where he gets the stats, but then when game time comes around, like the important games, he just doesn't. Yeah. He doesn't do it.
That's I think that could be a fair reading. I'd have to look into the advanced stats to see if that does weigh out, but I agree. Like a lot of times when it's like a primetime game or something, he doesn't look as good as he normally would look.
Mm-hmm.
But the only thing that I'll say for Kirk Cousins is, he's not an elite quarterback, but he in his only 4 years as a starting QB, like I said last week, he is top 10 consistently in every passing category for 4 straight years. His only years as starters. It's just like to me that says almost like just universally he's a top 10 QB,
But Rob, he's 4-24 versus winning teams.
He's 4-24 against winning teams.
We've already done this.
Yeah, we did this.
Well, actually, would he be 5-24 now? He beat the Dolphins. They were 7-6. So I mean, I guess that's a winning team.
Yeah,
that is winning team. Yeah.
All right, if you want to call the Dolphins,
there you go.
Congrats on being 5-24.
Yeah. Well, the thing is with the Vikings, right? It was supposed to be like, here's your guy. You needed a quarterback. Here he is. Plug him into this good defense, solid running game, and it's a Super Bowl team off the bat. And now they're not even going to win the North. So it's like.
We went over this last week.
We did go over it.
I think the most important thing, and I think we're seeing this with the Vikings, like first game out since firing John DeFilippo, who, by the way, was also a head coaching candidate coming into this year.
Yeah.
After they fired him, What happens? Dalvin Cook, 19 carries, 136 yards, 7.2 average yards per carry, 2 touchdowns. This year, the Vikings have gone from the 7th ranked rushing team to the 30th. So like, it's not the same team. That's the thing. Is like, it's not, they weren't playing like they were last year. And that has been, I think, the biggest contributing factor to them being barely in playoff contention. You know?
So here's like, I want to list some quarterbacks for you, and I want to see if you would take Kirk Cousins or a listed quarterback.
Okay. I'll
Pat Mahomes.
usually go with the young guy.
I can't wait
obviously.
for this.
All right.
Yeah.
Pat Mahomes.
Okay.
Drew Brees.
Yeah.
Phillip Rivers.
Yeah.
Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Andrew Luck.
Yep.
Russell Wilson.
Yep.
Roethlisberger.
Yep.
Matt
Probably.
Ryan.
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson.
Yeah. I mean,
Baker
I mean, I don't
Mayfield.
know. Because with the young guys, you can't know. I mean, maybe, yeah. I mean, like maybe, like I love Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
But right
Lamar
now,
Jackson.
he is still not proven. Yeah, Lamar too. Like he's still not proven. Deshaun Watson, in my eyes, still not proven. Carson Wentz is still not proven.
You got to pick
Yeah.
one. Rob. You just got to pick
Yeah.
one.
Well, that's the thing.
Well, if I
Already
have
with
to
all
pick one,
those, it's
I'm gonna-
pushing Kirk Cousins out of the
Right,
top
right.
10 contention.
But
is what I'm saying.
hear me out. The Viking situation was we can get the best quarterback to hit free agency in literally since Drew Brees. Like
Right.
that's the case, right? And he's top 10 in every passing category, but he's 30. So you could say, well, the Vikings should have got Deshaun Watson, Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson,
Right.
Mariota, or whatever, right? But then you have to draft them, and then you have to hope that they're good. So with Kirk, like again in the offseason, I was arguing with people about this all the time. Yeah, I mean the smart decision, if you can get a Kirk Cousins, is to get a Kirk Cousins, because if you don't, you're taking the risk that you're hoping this guy is as good as him at some point in the hopefully near future.
Yeah.
And it's a crapshoot if you don't. Whereas you know what you're getting with this guy.
But it's always a crapshoot though when you're drafting.
Yeah. Exactly. That's my point. Like that's why the Vikings went for Kirk Cousins, because they figured they have the ability to win now. I don't think that was the wrong decision. I straight up don't. I mean, because like what were they going to draft with? Like what were their picks? They'd have to like sell the farm to move up to get one of those guys, one of the QBs, since they all went in the top 10.
Last, that's the thing. It's like, I don't think they made the wrong decision. I just think Kirk Cousins is still, he's Kirk Cousins.
I'm not going to put QBs in like that have less than 3 years of playing time ahead of anybody else, because you just can't know. You can't know. You really can't. We've seen it over and over and over again, guys. Like by the third year, you're like, oh yeah, he's actually not that good.
RG3, which I mean, it could be
RG3.
injury, but
For the record, Rob was alone in picking the Vikings, and
and they won, baby.
It was the icebreakers who picked the Bills, which everyone went with the Bills versus Lions.
So next we had the Redskins beat the Jaguars, which again I said I wouldn't pick the Jaguars, yet I did, and here we go.
And I even told you not to, Coach. I even told you.
Why do I do this to myself?
You're gonna pick him again this week. I know you are.
Josh Johnson, 151 yards and a touchdown. Not too bad.
He looks pretty good, actually. Yeah,
he's better than whatever else they had back up.
Yeah. I feel bad for Colt McCoy still, though.
Yeah. Hey, so I mean, Redskins still alive technically, but I still don't think they're gonna make playoffs.
What are their upcoming games?
And
Titans,
meanwhile, Jaguars, Cody Kessler, 57 yards and a pick. He ran for 68 yards. Leonard Fournette, 46 yards, 11 rushes. D.D. Westbrook, their leading receiver, D.D. Westbrook, 21 yards.
Yeah.
They might have the worst wide receiving core in football. I know you say the Jets but this is pretty bad.
Yeah. No, it's not looking good for them.
It's pretty bad.
I mean, can I also just say for another QB that I've defended on this podcast?
Yeah.
I still don't see Cody Kessler. This is like, for me, this decision to bench Blake Bortles, who you just gave a contract to, for Cody Kessler, instead of riding out even like this is the first year on this new contract he's on. Instead of riding it out with him and seeing what he can do, benching him for a guy who you know who he is. We've seen it, and like I mean, look at his stats on the year are like what have they done? He's 600 yards, 64 completion percentage. That's good. 5.29 average yards per attempt. That's pretty bad. That's probably one of the lowest in the NFL.
He's a backup quarterback, and that's what he does.
That's the thing. That's what I mean. Is like it's just it seems it's like the most fan fueled decision that I've ever seen. Where it's just like it's like where the fans are always like, well, put in the fucking backup, get him in. He's got to be better than this guy. And he's not. He's
who you thought they were.
I know. It's just like I would have rode with Blake, honestly.
Yeah. So Jaguars heading on the top 5 pick train. Toot toot. Here they go.
Yep.
Which no one would have thought at the beginning of the season.
Yeah. Seriously.
Talking. And the way they were playing.
Yeah. So who'd have thought? Wide receivers.
Florida teams, everyone. Yeah.
So important. Yeah.
Good old Florida teams.
Another shocker. The Colts shutting out the Cowboys.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say about that game.
I don't even know what the Cowboys are.
I don't I thought the Cowboys were like, all right, solid like playoff team now. They beat the Saints. They're like playing. Then this happens. Dak Prescott, 206 yards and a pick. Elliott had 87 yards rushing. Leading receiver Blake Jarwin, 45 yards. Amari Cooper had 32 yards. What happened?
I think teams are, I guess, here's my theory. I think that teams were not expecting Amari Cooper to be as good as he was on the Cowboys when he first got there. Like, because the past couple of weeks, he's been fucking killing it. Yeah. And I think teams are now understanding, like, oh yeah, if you don't cover him, he's gonna fucking destroy you. So so what they're probably doing, and again, I didn't watch this game closely, so I could be completely off base here, talking out of my ass. But if I had to guess, I'd say they probably doubled Amari Cooper all game, and the Cowboys turned into what they were the rest of the year, which is Dak has no one to throw to besides
so it's just
Zeke,
Cole Beasley and Blake Jarwin apparently.
So.
And then Marlon Mack, 139 yards, 2 TDs. So a lot of running the ball.
Yeah.
T.Y. Hilton, 85 yards. Andrew Luck, 192 yards. And that's it. But, I mean, got the job done.
Hey, win's a win.
Yeah, win's a win. So Colts.
You just don't know. It's the same thing with the Colts and the Titans. You just don't know which AFC South team is going to show up. You just don't. You don't.
Yep.
I remember at the beginning of the year, we were like, AFC South, man, that's going to be a fun division to watch. What the fuck happened, dude? Like, we thought that was going to be the most competitive division. I mean, it is
outside of the Jaguars, it's pretty competitive.
You're not wrong. But we were wrong about which teams were going to be up there.
Yes.
We thought it was not. You guys thought it was going to be the Texans. I didn't think. I thought it was going to be the Jaguars, and I thought it was going to be the Colts.
Yeah. Well, I thought it'd be like I thought the Colts, the Texans, and the Jaguars would all be kind of equal, and then the Titans would be like, I just saw them all as really equal, but now I guess the Texans are the best team, but even then I don't know. Like,
they're all pretty equal if you don't count the Jaguars.
Yeah.
I mean, the rest of them are playing. Yeah.
Look, someone has to lose the division, coach.
It's better than what they were a few years back when they were all terrible.
Yeah.
So good for them.
Back in the days when you could win with a 6-10 record.
Yeah. Here's the shocker. 49ers 26, Seahawks 23. Mullins.
They do have the GOAT playing for them, so I mean,
you can't stop them. You can only hope to contain them, coach.
Dude, Nick fucking Mullins, dude.
Nick Mullins. Woo!
What's it with the NFL players named Nick having great
I know.
Surprising, years?
It's because of Nick Nolte.
No, there you go. Yeah, that would do it.
It's kind of crazy. He had 275 yards and a touchdown. And that's all he needed. DeForest Buckner, 2 sacks. 7 tackles. He's coming big defensive player for the 49ers.
And Rob picked the Seahawks to beat them.
Yeah,
it did go to overtime.
Yeah, it was very close.
It was close, yeah.
And Russell Wilson had probably inarguably.
Let's put it this way: it was easy. It was very easy to see the Seahawks winning. A lot of things had to go wrong for the 49ers to win.
Yeah,
on paper especially.
Yeah,
so I don't blame you in picking that one. Rob.
Honestly, if you look at these the box score stats, like, and you don't look at the score, you would say, like, this is the Seahawks win. I mean, like, look, Matt Breida, the Niners' leading rusher, 2.9 average per on the day. Even Nick Mullins, I mean, he did throw only 1 touchdown. Russell Wilson threw 2, and their running back 119 yards, 5.4 yards per carry, and a touchdown. Like, Doug Baldwin had two touchdowns. Like, you look at it, and it looks like the Seahawks should have won that game, but they didn't.
Doug Baldwin fuels that offense, dude.
Yeah,
like outside of Russell Wilson.
Yep.
So that's. I mean, even though they lost, they're still in playoff contention. So I mean.
Yeah,
they're still looking all right.
I mean, dude, again, I know we literally just went over it, but I mean, Nick Mullins, 64 completion percentage on the year, 1,700 yards, 10 touchdowns, 6 picks, 96 rating. He's actually like playing better than some of the starters in the NFL.
Yeah.
He's third string. Mike Shanahan has got to be a fucking offensive genius, man, because I don't know what the hell he meant. How he does this?
I know, it's crazy.
It's insane.
So yeah,
there you go.
Nick Mullins. Then we had Steelers Patriots, another upset game.
Yeah,
how do you lose to the Raiders and then beat the Patriots? That's like a classic Pittsburgh Steeler thing.
That's what the Steelers do, man.
Yeah.
They play to the skill of their opponents. Yeah.
Any given Sunday, coach.
Roethlisberger, 235, 2 TDs, 2 picks. Jalen Samuels, 142 yards running. It's crazy. And then Tom Brady, 279 yards, 1 TD, 1 pick. Sonny Michel got shut down. Edelman had 90 yards. Hogan had a touchdown. I mean, it was pretty even across the board, but I guess
Edelman had a great looking game.
Yeah,
he was playing great. Brady didn't even play that bad. It's just the thing that we've been saying it for a while now on this podcast. The Patriots defense, especially their tackling, is awful.
Oh yeah.
They cannot tackle that. It's with the Patriots and the
is bad.
With the Patriots and the Packers, they have the same problem. They can't tackle.
They really do. It frustrates me beyond belief when we like have a sack and we just let them go, or we just try to get the guy and it just like, we don't know how to do that.
Part of it used to be the QB rule, right? Because that was something that everyone was afraid of. But obviously that rule's been thrown out the book because everyone's just pissed off. But I mean, watching the Patriots like on Sunday, I was like, this is Bush League. They look awful on defense. They're just terrible at tackling. Same thing with the Rams. The Rams defense looked terrible at tackling.
I think I think it's still the Patriots, so their window has like never closes. But it does appear from the games that I've watched of them this year that magic window that they've had for the past like 5-6 years is like tightening a little bit. Like Gronk is not Gronk this year, and everyone in the offseason was like, because remember Gronk had trade rumors in the offseason, and everybody was like, what are you talking about? You're gonna trade like the best tight end in football? And then turns out it probably would have been a good trade, but then Gronk said, I'm not playing for anybody else. So
they would have won the Miami Miracle.
Yeah. So, I mean, like Gronk still, I mean, I think Gronk is still Gronk.
Yeah.
But he doesn't get open on these, like, on these fucking streak routes that he used to anymore. I don't think he can do it anymore. But, I mean, maybe that's way too early to call it, but I think he needs, like, they got to change up how they're throwing to him right now.
Yeah. So, I mean, aside from that, they're still the Patriots. They'll still probably get to the Super Bowl and win, and we'll be like, well, that was fun.
Yep. Yeah. We talked about it in the chat, but I do want to mention. Well, actually, we're probably going to go into it, so I'll mention it after. Never mind. Sorry, go on.
Eagles, Rams.
Yeah.
Nick Foles, everybody.
Big Dick
Foles.
Nick.
Big Dick Nick coming in hot. He's back, and he's ready for another run.
That's what I was about to say, is we were talking about it in the chat. But imagine if Nick Foles gets to the Super Bowl and wins again. Now, it's unlikely. It's probably not going to happen. But if it does, this will be the greatest fucking storyline in sports. If Big Dick Nick wins another Super Bowl. Because if he does, what do? What do? You have Carson Wentz, who looks spectacular all the time. He's your rookie. Not your rookie. He's your young QB. He's the QB of the future. But Big Dick Nick comes swinging dick in the door and slams it around, smacking people in the face and winning Super Bowls.
You guys are focusing on this way too much.
He's got a massive penis, is what I'm trying to get across. And the thing is, if he wins the second Super Bowl for Philly, what do you do? What do you do?
You gotta keep him.
You got to keep him, right?
That's a 2-time Super Bowl MVP, 2-time. He's got more rings than Dan Marino already.
It's like what? What do you do? So right now, the one thing that I want.
He's only 29, by the way.
I know.
He's my age.
He's not only 29. He's already retired once. Like, that's how this guy is the most confused. People are gonna look back 20, 30 years from now, and they're going to look at Nick Foles, and they're going to look at his career, and just, if you look at the numbers, you're going to be the most fucking confused person on planet Earth. It doesn't make any sense. He makes no sense. He's a quantum football anomaly. He doesn't make sense. And if he wins another Super Bowl, it will be the greatest story in NFL history.
It will be studied for eras and eras.
It is my sole wish for this season now. Honestly,
I mean, let's
besides
not
the
forget,
Browns.
2013, when he was playing with the Eagles early on, he threw for 2,800 yards, 27 TDs, and 2 picks.
Yes, that was. By the way, at that time, that was the most efficient season for a QB ever.
Yeah,
like that. That's insane. And then remember, he gets fucking traded. Looks like garbage.
Yeah.
And then literally, like he was about to retire, goes to Kansas City. Andy Reid puts a fire in him, gets him to Philadelphia, and he wins their first Super Bowl ever. What the fuck is this man? He doesn't the singularity in the football universe. It doesn't make any sense.
He's like if Tim Tebow was good.
Yeah. It's so strange, and he apparently has a massive penis. So I mean, that's good. You got that for him too.
And they asked him, like, "What do you do?" And he's like, "I just love my teammates, man." And it's like, what?
Yeah, just gotta give it up to the big fella up in the sky, coach. We're just playing in, day out, every single day.
He did say, like, more paraphrasing as well, like, the way that you win in the fourth quarter is by loving your teammates. This man, he's the memest man on planet Earth. He's a
memer.
He's a guy.
And by the way, on the flip side, I've been telling you, the Rams are not good. I don't think they're that great.
I disagree.
Don't get me wrong. I think they put up the stats, but they don't get the job done. And I feel like I've seen this a lot of times with a lot of these teams where they do this for the season, then they get to the playoffs where it gets like tight and they just get rolled over. It almost gives me vibes of the Packers long ago, where they just go into the playoffs. They're going to play like a hot team, like an Eagles team, and they're just going to get destroyed.
We cannot talk about this game without mentioning the interception that Goff threw. Was one of the most horrendous throws. I mean, look, I know that
shades of Mark Sanchez.
I'm still on record with saying that Jameis Winston's interception that he threw, the 1 in the 4 that he threw that one game, is still like the worst throw of all time. Yeah. But Jared Goff's interception, holy hell! If you've not seen this clip, just Google.
It's hilarious. It's like,
how in any world did he think that was not going to be picked off?
Yeah.
He didn't even look where he was throwing it, Rob.
It was just a comedy of errors, honestly. It was so...
It's like he was trying to get on the blooper reel in those classic NFL films.
Hey, man,
like blooper reels.
Second year QB, you don't know. We still don't. Well, actually, no, he's not second year. I lied. I think he's third year now, right?
Yeah, I think he's third year now.
Yeah. So, but
Last
still,
year.
I mean, you can't know. You still don't know. We still don't know what Jared Goff is.
But the Rams are still good. I don't agree with Coach. I'm sorry, Coach.
Well,
I
I'm
don't
not
agree.
saying
that
they're like
bad.
the worst team ever. Like they're good. Like they're still good. Don't get me wrong. They're just not great. And you got to be great to win the Super Bowl.
Okay, so we went over this in our text chat too, because we were talking about this, and I decided to look to see if like there's some water to your argument, and there is a little, I think, but honestly, their wins come against good teams this year. Like most of them do. Like they beat the Chargers, great team. They beat the Vikings, pretty decent team. The Seahawks, pretty good this year. The Broncos, surprisingly not that bad despite their terrible coaching staff. The Niners are weird, so who knows. The Packers are, the Seahawks again. They beat the Chiefs, and the Lions are terrible. So the only big losses that they've had were against the Saints, the Bears, and the Eagles are kind of the only anomaly, and they're the Super Bowl champs of last year. So the only losses that they've had are against another team that is looking incredible in the Saints, the Bears, who look like they have one of the all-time best defenses, and then the Eagles, the former Super Bowl champs. I mean, their losses.
So teams they play in the playoffs and lose to, you're saying?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's a possibility. That's a possibility. I mean, that's the thing is that's what we ended up talking about at the end is what defense is going to stop them in the playoffs. And the only one that I could see that's a stepping stone for them is going to be the Bears.
Now, let me devil's advocate this a little bit. So I was looking into a lot of things I've been reading about, and here's one of the best ones I found with the Rams. Rams beat the Raiders after trailing at halftime, like week 1.
Yep.
So they barely beat the Raiders. They shut out the Cardinals, which, the only team the Cardinals can beat is the Packers. They barely... Speaking of which, they barely beat the Packers. We could have easily won that game.
Yep,
You're destroying them the first
close,
half.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They beat the Vikings, who, the Vikings, go back
They're
and
up and
forth.
down.
Oh, they've got Kirk Cousins.
They beat Seattle. They beat Seattle, which is like, all right, I can see that. That's a good win.
They beat them twice.
Yeah. They beat the Broncos, which, I thought they were the sleeping horse, but at this point,
they're bad, but their defense is still legit. Like Von Miller, he just broke a sack record like a week ago. Like he's still a god. I mean, there's
It's got Case Keenum, the quarterback, and a coach
True.
who kicked field goals all day.
True.
They beat CJ Beathard, so there you go.
Yeah,
They beat the Seahawks again, so that's they were trailing. I think that game though for a lot of the game, and then they beat the Lions. The Lions almost beat them, which is still kind of like, and then they were. I don't know
about almost beat. They did double the points that the Lions had.
But it was only in the fourth quarter that they did it. Like they were still hanging around there.
Still.
And then they beat the Chiefs in the crazy shootout game, which was like, I almost feel like the NFL was just like, don't call penalties, just let this shit go crazy.
Hey, that was an entertaining game. I don't care what anyone says.
Oh, me too. Yeah.
Great game.
Like I said, I think they're good, but I don't think they're great. And I mainly just think they're overrated, is what I'm saying. I think they're good enough to get to the playoffs, but I think they're overrated.
Let's see where you go with the pick'ems after we're done with this, Coach.
By the way, I put this stat in our chat. Over the last 3 weeks, Goff is last among all starting quarterbacks in passer rating. Goff's passer rating is at a 51.3 over the last 3 weeks, and the only quarterback who has started even one game and has the worst passer rating is the butt fumbler himself, Mark Sanchez.
Mark Sanchez.
Yeah, he's had a bad string of games, that Jared Goff.
Yeah, so until he fixes whatever's wrong with him, or maybe they figured out what he does or how to get to him, but like, it's not looking too good right now.
Breaking news, Coach Krendor. This just breaking around the news here. The NFL is Pro Bowl roster by position with the AFC starting quarterback Patrick Mahomes, Coach.
Wait, really?
Really? They just announced
They're calling it already?
They just announced it. The Chargers have a record, well, not a record, but a league-leading 7 position starters.
Oh boy!
Ooh.
All right, how many do the Jets have? 0.
Why ask a question that you already know, Rob?
Because you know what? Last year, I'm okay with it. This year, we actually legit have Pro Bowlers on this roster, and if they don't make the Pro Bowl, then honestly they're getting snuffed.
I will tell you this: as much as I would love to meme, and as much as I would like to tell Rob there's 0, there's actually 3.
Oh, hey, we were expecting 3. So
I'm not. We'll finish the roundup here, but during the power rankings segment, I'll send it to you, Rob. So get ready for that.
All right. And then the only game we had left was the Monday nighter, which was the Saints and the Panthers, which was closer than I thought it would be.
That game was horrible. Absolutely
very
horrible.
strange. Yeah.
Can I just say the Panthers? I think they could have won if they wouldn't have played Cam Newton.
Yeah.
I think they legit could have won if they would have benched Cam Newton, because Cam Newton looks awful. He's injured or something. He does not look
gotta
how
be.
he
Yeah,
looked.
there's the past couple times his throws have been all off target for a while, for a couple of weeks now. Like they gotta do something about
He just let him get hit by a bus. I don't care about it. I hate Cam Newton with a passion.
All right.
I'm always happy when the Saints lose, and I'm even happier when Cam losing Luton.
When Cam loses.
You're right.
Cam losing Luton.
So you just want the party bus to have Cam Newton, Jameis Winston, you throw Adrian Peterson on there, Joe Mixon. Just start loading
drive
it up.
right off a cliff. Just GTA 5 them right off a cliff.
Yo, one thing that I can say about this game though is that Christian McCaffrey is so fucking good at everything.
He's very
good.
He threw a fucking touchdown.
Just put him at quarterback. Just let him do everything. Honestly.
Put him at every position, honestly, at this point. He
It's
does
almost
everything
the first
for that
time I've
team.
ever seen one name on every single stat line at number 1.
Let him
It's
play
actually
defense
insane.
too. Like he returns as well. Like he's a good returner.
He's
Crazy.
actually insane. Like he will be the Panthers for the next 5 years. He's going to be their team.
Let's just say
I think his legs are going to fall off before that happens, Coach.
Probably, but until
you know
that point.
You know the meme of Wolverine looking at the picture frame? Yeah. So in the picture frame is Christian McCaffrey. In Wolverine's mask is Bill fucking Belichick, and I'm sure he's just would kill to have a Christian McCaffrey.
Yep.
The Patriots be undefeated with Christian McCaffrey right now. You kidding me?
Crazy.
It's insane. So yeah, that was this week in football.
Yeah. And hey, one quick thing. And I say this out of love because I really
it's never a quick thing, Rob.
The Saints have slowed down a bit the past couple of weeks.
They have.
Like quite a lot.
The Bucks took a lot out of him, Rob.
Yeah. They couldn't get it going after that Bucks game. It's just too strenuous.
The Bucks just wear everyone out.
Yep. Including themselves.
Including the
fan. Well, let's kick it over to Sinvicta up in the analyst booth. Sinvicta?
Thanks, Coach. Here with the NFL Power Rankings going into Week 16 for the NFL.com Power Rankings for NFL. Coach Krendor, first up for you. Can you name the number 1 team as predicted, or as placed, I should say, by the NFL Power Rankings on NFL.com, Coach? You only get one chance.
It's probably still the Saints.
That is absolutely correct. The Saints have managed to stay at number 1 despite whatever that was on Monday night. Now, Robert, this is going to be tough for you.
All right.
I'm gonna put it on you.
Okay.
All right. I need you to name the rest of the top 5 in order.
In order. Okay.
My prediction is that you will fail at the number 3 position.
Oh, okay.
In order. You can start at either the bottom or the top, but you'll be starting at number 2.
I'm gonna say number 2 is. Oh man, that's tough. Actually, I'm gonna say it's the Chargers.
It is the Chargers.
Okay.
They made a miraculous charge up to the number 2 spot.
Yeah. I kind of want to say that number 3, because you're saying it's going to be that might be getting it wrong. I'm going to go a little out there. I'm going to say it's the Texans.
It's a great guess, but incorrect.
Damn. Okay.
If I tell you who number 3 is, you'll get the other 2. Number 3 is the Chiefs.
Okay, yeah. That was the one that I was going to go for.
The Chiefs fell from 2 to 3.
Mm-hmm.
Now 4 is really going to throw you for a loop. If you got, I think you're going to get 5, but 4 is the tough one. If 3 was the tough one, yeah. Number 4, I'll give you both a guess.
All right, Crendor, you go ahead, buddy.
All
They've
right.
risen 2 spots. This is
Wait,
what it.
Who's the top 3 right now? Saints, and who else? Chiefs.
In order: Saints, Chargers, Chiefs.
Saints, Chargers, Chiefs. All right, I'm gonna go with.
This team has risen 2 spots.
I'll take the Bears.
Robert.
Risen 2 spots. Gosh.
Gorsh.
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 I'm going to take the Texans again.
It is the Bears. Coach Crendor nailing it. The Bears have risen from 6 to 4, with the Rams rounding out the top 5, placing above the Patriots as well as the Texans, who surprisingly did not move at all. They did not move. Now, 2 other teams that trail the Texans here, the Colts and the Steelers, both rose 3 spots here. Now, this one should be easier for y'all. Okay. Which team, out of all the teams that have moved and shook with a winning record, which team fell the most? I'll give you how many points they fell, or for how many positions. They fell 5 positions. They are tied with the Giants for falling the most. But this is with a winning team. A team with a winning record that has fallen 5 spots, Coach.
5.
Oh.
Jesus.
They went from 9 to 14.
Is it the Redskins? Seahawks?
The Dallas Cowboys, Coach. They fell from 9 to 14, putting up a 0 spot, get you 5 places down below everyone. Now, the final question here before we go into the bonus round for Rob. Robert, it's your time. I know you can do it. You can do this, Rob. True or false? The Jets have moved.
Ooh. Okay, you got to tell me. Where were we last week? 31?
The Jets were 31 last week.
And you're saying
it's true or false, they have moved. It doesn't matter up or down. If I asked you, Rob, true or false, the Jets have moved.
You know what? I'm going to say yes.
They have moved above. Can you guess the team, Rob?
The Raiders.
They have moved above the Jaguars. Congratulations, Rob. You have placed above. The Blake Bortles era is over.
Not gonna lie, I probably would take the Jets over the Jaguars.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It depends on which coaching staff is there.
Rounding out the bottom 5 teams here is going to be from bottom to top: the Cardinals, the Jaguars, the Jets, the Raiders, and you guessed it, those Tampa Bay Buccaneers dropping 4 spots down
together in misery.
Yes. Now here's the bonus question here before we go back up for the pick'ems here. Analyst Rob, I told you the Jets have 3. They've got 3 players who are going to be starting for the AFC. Can you name them?
Okay. I think I can.
Okay.
I'm going to say that it's Jamal Adams. That one's assured for me.
Correct.
Okay. Number 2, probably Jason Myers, our kicker.
Correct.
Okay. And then number 3, Andre Roberts as a returner.
Correct. You
All
clearly
right,
looked at the list. Rob cheated.
I looked at our games, and those are the only guys.
He went straight to the breaking news, coach. We have a terrible cheater on our
legitimately, by the way, like our special teams this year is like #1 ranked. Like we have a very good special teams unit this year, and our subreddit is like alive with the sound of music singing the praises of Boyer, our special teams coach, who somehow has been a shining light in our team, and it's special teams, of course. So,
yeah.
But
Do
still,
you know that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have no Pro Bowlers?
All right, coach, here we go. Can you guess, being a part of the NFC, coach, can you guess the starting NFC quarterback?
Freak out.
Starting NFC quarterback, is it Russell Wilson?
It is not Russell Wilson, coach. It is Drew, the most underrated quarterback of all time, Breeze.
I would skip over him, wouldn't I?
And finally, the starting running back, Coach Krendor, for the NFC.
NFC? Is
Pro
it
Bowl.
Saquon Barkley?
It is not. It is your boy, your favorite
Todd
fantasy
Gurley,
player ever.
Oh, my God.
Todd Gurley,
Of
coach.
course it is. Yep. Gotta
There
love
you
it.
go.
The 1 year he had his worst year was the year I got him. Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
You are forever bound by fate now to Todd Gurley in fantasy. So that's it for this week's Power Rankings. Back up to Coach and analyst Rob in the studio for the Pick'ems. Take it away, Coach Krendor.
Well, before we get to the Pick'ems, just a quick update on stats across the NFL and transactions stuff happening. Bop to bop. First up, Saints are the best. Rams are the worst in points allowed over the last 6 games. More facts that show that the Rams are not good. Then, extremely crazy news. Nate Peterman will work out for the Oakland Raiders.
Let's go.
And John Gruden is very high on Nathan Peterman.
Comeback tour.
Here we go.
Comeback tour, folks. Nathan Peterman leading the Las Vegas Raiders 2020 to their first Super Bowl in years. Then the Rams have waived Pharaoh Cooper, who was an all-pro returner a year ago.
Huh.
I'm not sure why, but I don't know. I guess something happened. Maybe
I haven't
they know
been
more
hearing his
than I.
name this year, so maybe.
Yeah, that's true.
But by the way,
Yeah.
one quick thing, I looked it up because I wanted to see if Saquon, like where he ranks between these guys. I didn't realize this. Todd Gurley has 17 fucking rushing touchdowns this year.
Yeah.
That's just rushing.
He's quite good.
17. That's insane. Sorry,
that is insane. I was going to say, Philip Lindsay became the first undrafted offensive player to be selected to the Pro Bowl as a rookie.
Hell yeah. Let's go. I really like that kid.
Rams have signed C.J. Anderson as insurance. A lot of guys going on the IR because they're out of the playoffs, and it's whatever. And playoffs. The Packers have worked out Paxton Lynch.
Oh man, that's
Can you imagine Paxton Lynch, 3rd Hall of Famer in a row for the Green Bay Packers?
More like, can you imagine that, Coach?
I can imagine it.
So I like Deshaun Kaiser.
Yeah.
But I do want to say, you guys are really scraping the bottom of the I'm surprised Nathan Peterman didn't work out for you guys. You get
I know.
Paxton Lynch,
Dude,
Deshaun
I
Kaiser.
honestly would have loved if Nathan Peterman came here and he just became the greatest quarterback
That
ever.
would be hilarious. It would
be hilarious. At this point, hey, whatever. I have no quarterback issues. So, we are moving on to week 16. Here we go. Redskins.
Week 16. Pick 'em.
Pick 'em. Redskins at Titans.
Taking the Titans.
I'm taking the Titans, too.
I, as well, will be taking the Titans, Coach.
Let's go.
Let's go. Ravens at Chargers.
Oof. I mean,
I think
this will be this is going to be closer than I think people expect it to be.
Yeah. I'm going to... I honestly don't know who to take.
It's I mean, you never know, really, with Lamar Jackson's on fire right now, man.
Yeah.
You know,
And
we've
the
been hanging
Chargers
around
just
too
beat the
long
Chiefs.
when Coach starts sounding like Rob.
I mean,
I don't.
I'm taking the Chargers, but I don't know, man. Hey, Melvin Gordon probably should be back this week, right? He's because he was he was practicing last week and they didn't put him in.
Yeah.
So I'd imagine that either he's in this week or they're just saving him for the playoffs.
I'm going to take the Ravens because why not? I don't know.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
I am taking the Chargers because they are just a better team.
All right.
But the Ravens is the number 1 ranked defense is all I want to say.
I mean, I didn't know. I'm just taking the Ravens to be different, honestly, because I figured you'd take the Chargers. All right. Well, it'll be a good game.
Yeah.
It will be a good game, yes.
Bengals at the Browns.
I mean, we can skip right past this. We know we're all
Yeah,
taking.
that's
right?
a trifecta on the
Go
Browns.
Browns!
Those are the Saturday games, by the way.
Yeah, those were the
Brownies.
Saturday games. Browns open up the Sunday games.
No
Go
Thursday
Browns.
night. Rip
Go Browns.
Yep.
Go Browns.
Buccaneers at Cowboys. I will go Cowboys on this
Go
one.
Cowboys.
I'll take the boys too.
Yeah.
I hate the Cowboys a lot. But
Yep, I do too.
right now, I hate the Bucks even more. So
Yeah, and I just don't trust in the Bucks. So Cowboys. Then we have the Vikings at Lions.
Definitely taking the Vikings.
Here's the thing. I'm gonna take the Vikings because I know they're like in playoff mode right now, but it still wouldn't surprise me if the Lions won.
I wouldn't be surprised either. It's all right. It's
Yeah,
a division game
so-
either way.
Yeah,
I'm
so
taking the Lions at home, Coach.
all right. You know what? I'm taking the Vikings still. All right.
I'll be the only one to pick the Vikings this week again if you guys want.
God, I swear, if the Lions win, I'm all right.
Never picking the Vikings again.
Yeah. Bills at Patriots.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
okay.
gonna be the New England Patriots here.
As much as I love the Bills,
And as much as Josh Allen hurdled a man.
I don't think they're gonna win the game.
All right. I'm still taking the Patriots. But I actually think this could be a tough game for them. Straight up.
Yeah.
Because they have like the number 1 passing defense in the NFL right now, the Bills. Tom Brady hasn't looked totally Tom Brady the past couple of weeks. He's still Tom Brady, but he hasn't looked totally Tom Brady the past couple of weeks. And this is the number 1 passing defense. And the Patriots have a garbage defense, and Josh Allen hurdled a man. So
Yes.
I think the path to a victory is there if they can
Yeah.
get it. But I'm still
You
picking
know
the
what? Screw it. I'll take the Bills. I don't
Patriots.
care.
Let's go.
Let's go. I'm taking the Bills. Upset time.
right,
wow,
well.
they're gonna lose. But you never know. You never know. Game of the week: Packers at Jets.
Yep. Humdinger.
I'm taking the Packers, even though I want us to lose.
I am also taking the Jets in a similar fashion. Yeah.
Okay. I thought you'd be like, I'm also taking the Packers. What?
No.
I'm sorry.
This will decide our friendships, Invicta. I just want
as a co-host, this is a terrible spot for me to because on one side I want to say this is an easy Packers win, but on the other side I want to say that
it's not.
On the
Yeah, I
other
don't think
side
it
I
is
want to
this
say that the Jets.
We lost to the Cardinals.
On the other side, I want to say that the Jets at home may just try to make a statement for Darnold and just go balls to the wall intense.
I'll tell you what. Yeah, go on.
At the end of the day, my feet held to the fire. I got to pick the tie, Coach. It's going to be just be a tie.
Yeah, okay. Reasonable.
It's got to be a tie.
I love it.
But I'm going to pick the Packers.
Okay, but you're
All
going
right.
tie.
No, I'm picking Packers.
Oh, okay. He's
Okay.
going
All
Packers.
right.
All right.
Sorry, Rob. I'm sorry,
Hey,
Rob.
One thing I'll say: last week, the only positive thing I can say about our coaching staff is they finally decided to not play the most conservative football ever because I think they realized that it's over anyway. So,
Yeah.
so you might see some fun stuff. Hopefully.
I'm sorry,
All right.
Rob.
Well,
that's okay.
it's Todd Bowles, so you're not going to see anything fun.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm still hoping we lose, honestly. So that's all right. Texans at Eagles. Ooh,
Mm.
Going to
Know
be an interesting game.
I got to pick Nick Foles.
I gotta pick him too.
Yep.
I can't. I have to will it into existence. I want it so bad. And the Texans can survive a loss. They'll still make the playoffs with a loss here.
Yeah.
I am only picking the Eagles because I think that the Texans are going to sit a bunch of people.
Okay.
They could, yeah.
All right.
And that and Philadelphia is still actually actively hunting for a spot. So
Yeah. All right. Falcons at Panthers. I think the Panthers will finally break their losing streak. I'm going to take the Panthers.
I'm actually gonna
the Turdy Birds.
Yeah, I'm gonna take them too. Honestly,
All right.
because it's still Matt Ryan and Cam is not looking great right now.
I think they're going to sit Cam Newton and they're going to play the backup. That's what I'm taking.
I thought you were going to say
Who's
Christian
their back-
McCaffrey's going to
Isn't
play.
their backup like Derek Anderson or something? Who's their
It's
backup?
what's
Mark
his name?
Sanchez.
No, it's the dude who threw the Hail Mary that one game.
Oh, Heineken.
Yeah, Heineken.
Yeah,
Yeah, that guy.
Heineken's an import beer. Yeah.
Yeah, he's an import quarterback. Okay, Giants at Colts.
Colts.
I gotta go Colts. Yeah,
Yeah.
Ride
Colts
the
at
Colts.
You
Yeah.
guys keep talking about. I'm telling you, you don't know which one's going to show up. And the
You're
Giants are in the same boat though, because the Giants have been very variant.
Colts are still alive for the playoffs though.
Yeah, and the Giants would like to play spoiler on that,
I'll
but
tell you what.
Yeah.
The Colts have the 8th ranked rushing defense this year in yardage.
yeah.
So that's so that's also why I'm going to pick the Colts. But yeah, I think this could be a toss-up game for sure.
Yeah.
I'm only going Colts because I do think that they're going to win. I have to differentiate myself from Coach eventually, but this isn't the game to do it on. This ain't the battle to die upon.
Yeah.
So Colts.
All right. Jaguars at Dolphins.
Humdinger!
The fight
Yeah,
for Florida.
That's a Dolphin.
For the Florida Panhandle, Coach.
That's a Dolphin, and because the Jaguars are so bad, lock me in a Dolphin.
Wow.
I do not trust the Jaguars at all.
Wow.
Dolphins, so I'm locking them.
All right. Hear me out, though.
Okay.
The Dolphins are fish, and the Jaguars are cats. Cats love fish. I'm just saying.
Well, I got to write this down.
I mean,
I'm taking the Dolphins.
Okay.
The Dolphins also are mammals. So I just
they're
wanted
not.
to
They're not fish.
let everyone. Yeah, I know. I just wanted everyone to know that I'm aware of that. It's a joke.
They're
You know what? The
mammals.
Dolphins screwed me over. All right. I take back my lock. I'm putting it on the Browns.
Oh, let's go!
You
Let's
can't.
go.
No,
Lock me
you
a
can't.
Brown.
You can't take my lot, Coach. That was going to be my three-peat.
All three of us could lock the Browns if we wanted to.
That was my
Dude,
three-peat. I'm the one who made the old.
trifecta lock on the Browns. Let's go.
You know what? I'll lock them.
No, we had to differentiate. We got two weeks left.
All right.
I'm taking the Dolphins for the record because the Jaguars are just god awful.
Yeah.
All right. Fine. I'll lock the Dolphins. Okay. Just
No,
keep the lock.
You can
Keep
lock the Browns.
No,
It's all
I
right.
don't lock the Dolphins.
Lock the fish.
I want to lock the Dolphins.
Don't lock the Dolphins.
I'm locking the Dolphins, dude. You can't stop me. But I'm gonna be very sad if they lose. They bet.
My lock's coming up right now.
Rams at Cardinals. It's not a bad lock.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not bad. Josh Rosen is
Dead.
yeah.
Look at that chart. 32nd, 17th, 32nd, 32nd.
How did we lose to that team, dude? I don't even know.
Yeah, that was my lock, by the way, Coach. Thank you very much.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm taking the Rams.
So yeah, we're all taking the Rams. Rob's locking the Rams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bears at 49ers. Here's the thing. Nick Mullins.
Greatest
I
of all
think the
time.
Bears are coming off a high. They've won the division. They can still play for a bye week, but you know what? I think a little bit of that energy's gone. Eddie Jackson rolled his ankle. He might be out. Nick Mullins. You know what? I'm gonna go Nick Mullins.
You're
Oh shit, dude.
absolutely insane, Coach. Gonna
If
be the
they're not-
Bears.
if they're not sitting Khalil Mack, I don't care how good Nick Mullins is. He's just gonna get fucking destroyed by that Niners team. Taking the
I
Bears.
don't know. Nick Mullins, dude, just beat the Seahawks.
If there's gonna be an upset this week, I think that could be the upset.
I gotta have my upset of the week. Well, I already picked the Bills to beat the Pitt, but that's like another one. All right, we're going for the double. I like a good upset, so why not?
I've got the Bears, coach.
All right. Steelers at Saints.
Yeah.
This could be a good one.
Yeah.
Honestly, you know what? I would normally take the Saints, but I'm going to take the Steelers.
I think that's fair. I think there's a real good chance they could win.
Yeah.
I think that I hate saying the Saints are going to win, but I think the Saints are going to win here, coach.
All right.
I just do. I think that they've got that crowd is going to be bonkers.
All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, I'm gonna
And-
take the Saints at home too.
Okay.
But I could totally see them losing to the Steelers.
Yeah. Steelers are just one of those teams. I think they beat the good teams, lose to the bad ones.
Yep.
So
That's
I
what
think
they
it's gonna
do.
happen
It's
here.
so weird. They're such a
Yeah.
strange team.
They are. Chiefs at Seahawks Sunday night. That's a good one.
That will be good.
But I'm going to take the Chiefs.
Give me the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's Chiefs as well.
Ooh.
But Russell Wilson, 31st
Yes.
ranked defense of the Chiefs. He's gonna
Yeah.
fucking have a show.
It'll be a
And
good game.
here comes the real game of the week.
The sleeping horse.
The toughest game to predict the entire week right here.
The best games of the week, always on Monday night. Broncos at Raiders.
Dun, dun, dun.
That is gonna be. Besides the game itself, hearing the fucking broadcast team talk about this game is gonna make me tear my eyeballs out.
Oh, I'm
Oh,
not
yeah.
watching it. I'm not watching it.
Yeah, actually,
I
I think I gotta watch it in Spanish or something because I can't do these guys anymore.
Well, you can't watch it in Spanish. You can listen to it in Spanish.
You know what, Sinvicta? You know what?
I'm just saying, Rob. I'm just saying.
You know what? Screw it. Give me the Raiders.
Yeah, I'm taking Pirates here.
Taking the sleeping horse.
Ooh, there it is,
After
the
what
sleeping
Vance
horse.
Joseph did last week, there is no chance that I can take the Broncos ever again.
I think the Raiders are actually going to win, but I'm picking the Broncos.
Okay.
Okay.
That's fair.
Reasonable.
My lock of the week being the Cleveland Browns, coach. Go Browns.
go.
3 in a row. 3 in a row. You can't say that the first one wasn't bold because it certainly was.
Let's
with
go
the
Browns.
With the
I
Browns
can't-
taking it in week 14, I locked them in against the Panthers, locked them in against the Broncos, locking them in against the Bungles, who will probably end up winning because I can never get a hat trick. But go Browns.
No
Go
matter
Browns.
what happens this game, I can't fucking wait to see the post-game handshakes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, that's going to be a show.
Fireworks,
Oh.
Rob. Fireworks.
Oh,
By the way, if the playoffs started today, we'd actually have pretty good games. It
Yeah.
would be wild card Ravens Patriots, Chargers Steelers, Vikings Bears, and Seahawks Cowboys. This
yeah.
would all be pretty good games.
Mhm.
So it's looking pretty good. So, that's it. Week 15, 16, wherever we're at, it's done. Thank you very much. And you can find us on YouTube. You can find us on SoundCloud. iTunes is now a thing. We have
Oh,
been
yeah.
approved on iTunes.
Oh, we're on
some
iTunes.
people-
Hello, iTunes. Hello.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Some
Hey,
people said
iTunes.
Spotify, so I just got to put up on Spotify, and then we'll be all over. So
Hell yeah.
wherever you're listening, thank you for listening. And yeah.
And if your grandpa or your father works at ESPN or NFL Network, show them the podcast. You know,
yes, yeah,
Let 'em
show
know.
'em. Be like, wow, these guys are
Is
great.
fine too. Yeah.
We need to hire them. All right, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Boop.